Joining us tonight here on Sky News. Let's join Uri Geller now, close personal friend of Michael Jackson. Michael, thank you very much for being with us. We spoke to you just around an hour ago when this news first broke, and you were understandably extremely upset, and you've had time now for this news to sink in. Have you spoken to any of Michael's family at all?
No, it's impossible to reach them. Everyone is devastated worldwide. It's shocking. Everyone was waiting for this huge comeback here in London. I know for a fact that he was rehearsing, practicing. He was in good shape. He sat right here where I'm sitting right now. He was my best man when I renewed my wedding vows. Just to think that the world lost Michael Jackson and Michael is not alive anymore is just unreal. It's surreal. It's still, I cannot penetrate into my psyche. I cannot believe that Michael is gone.
When was the last time that you spoke to him?
I don't want to comment about personal things. I had my ups and downs with Michael, by the way. I had rows with Michael. I think that I was one of the very few people who dared to shout at Michael when I thought he was doing the wrong things. I pray to God that his soul is up there in heaven, and, you know, I can feel the sadness and the shock factor emanating out from hundreds of millions of people around the world who are trying to digest the fact, the hard fact that he's gone.
I appreciate you don't want to talk too much about your last conversations with Michael Jackson, but as far as his health is concerned, what did you understand his state of health to be?
Look, I'm not a doctor, but I can only assume that he was under tremendous pressures and stress. And you can ask any doctor, stress is a killer. And I think that, and this is my own theory, that the anticipation of this mammoth challenge that was coming up upon him, doing these 50 concerts, wanting to be close to perfection when he was going to be on stage, put him under huge pressures. That could have been it. Again, this is just my opinion.
Was it therefore, in your view, a mistake for him to undertake this 50-date tour?
I do not think it was a mistake to take the tour, but I think it was a mistake to do so many shows, to target 50 shows. I think 3, 4, 5, you know, maximum 10. But to do 50 is just, I mean, it's hard for any super artist, anyone. You know, Michael wasn't 18, but he was very fit, both in his mind, in his soul, and physically in his body. He was a dancer, for goodness sake. He danced all his life. He was aerobically fit. He was thin. He was careful in what he ate. I remember him here sitting. He wouldn't touch junk food. He told me, go and get me Indian chicken tikka, whatever. So to comprehend this devastating reality that Michael is dead, I want to wake up tomorrow and wake up and think that this is a horror film and this is a dream. But unfortunately, it's not. Michael is dead.
Uri, we're just looking at pictures of you and Michael Jackson at an event several years ago. You say you were one of the few people he knew who would perhaps be honest with him, tell him the truth about certain things. I appreciate you probably don't want to tell us what those things were, but was he a man who perhaps wouldn't have listened if people such as yourself were telling him, listen, you know, you're just not up to this and it's too tough?
Yes, I told him many things. You know, I spent time with him in hotel rooms, in the darkened hours of in New York, in the hit studio when he did Invincible, which I actually designed a part of the booklet. But I remember in this very room, I once looked at him and I asked him, Michael, are you a lonely man? And he looked up at me, and he looked and looked for seconds upon seconds, and then he said, Uri Geller, I'm a very lonely man.
That's desperate.
That sums it up,
That's
really.
desperately sad, isn't it? Was he a sad man?
Yeah. I think he was a happy man when fans were around him. He drank their love. He knew how to absorb the affection, the energy that they were emitting to him. He loved dancing. He loved creating. He was a genius. I think his record still stands as #1 hit record out of all records. He loved what he did, but somewhere in the deep, dark corners of his heart, he was a confused man and a lonely person. And the reason was, I believe, is because nobody really understood Michael Jackson. And he went through hell. Anyhow, he's in heaven now. He's definitely in a better place.